What's up guys, it's Saray Karen and I'm bringing you the latest news and reviews in tech. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about switching from an iPhone to an Android phone. That's one of the questions I get the most when I'm at work. And people are literally scared to actually move from Apple to Android. They're always saying, you know, there's so many Android phones in the market. I'm kind of tired of my iPhone. It's really boring. I can't do that many things on it. And I'm scared. And when they tell me that they're scared, it's kind of funny. I'm like, who are you scared of? Apple? Are they gonna come get you? Is the cult listening to us right now and they're hearing you say that you might be making a change? So it's nothing scary about it. It's really user preference. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk about quick pros and cons between having an iPhone versus going to an Android phone and then making the switch. So if you guys see me look over here, I actually wrote down some notes because I'm taking this video very serious because it's a big purchase. I mean, iPhones are expensive, most Android phones are expensive, and hopefully this helps the people that are, you know, thinking about this, whether or not they're gonna make the switch from Apple to Android. So, first of all, pros and cons of having an iPhone. And I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory if you do have an iPhone. You have iMessage, you have FaceTime. The Apple ecosystem is very great. I mean, like if you have a Mac, if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, they all sync. When my iPhone rings, my Mac rings, or same thing with my iPad. So I mean, you can do iMessage on them, you can do FaceTime on them, and you only need one iCloud account. So that whole seamless ecosystem of products is really what Apple did perfectly, I think. Not too many other competitors, or I don't even think any competitors really come close to, you know, replicating that ecosystem of products. But then, yes, all those things are great about Apple, but the phone is boring. And I mean, there are so many Android phones that can do so much more, and it's actually a fun user experience. So, I mean, the iPhone is boring. Anyone can use it. And whenever customers come into my store and they're saying, oh, you know, I want a basic smartphone, I don't want to do too many things, I automatically think of iOS because it's so simple. I mean, look at this. It's not much to it, you know. You get your dashboard, you get your apps, you can make a call, literally just there, make a call like that, you know. You have messaging. It's nothing complicated. And then when you go into Android, pros and cons with that is, first, pros, it's customizable, and that's the big thing that Android users love over Apple users. I mean, you can change the font, you can change, you know, how your icons look, how the setup is. I mean, the most you can do with an iPhone is, I don't know, rearrange some things.
Head to the kitchen, rearrange some things. We could certainly party with the Hey Dude.
And I mean, you can rearrange things on an Android phone, but you can actually, you know, make your phone look specific to you. You know, put your personality into the design of, you know, your layout on your phone, which I think that's really cool. I mean, when I pull up my Google phone, I can't really, like, this is really simple, but I can't line my icons on my iPhone like that. I mean, it's just something that you can't do. Something as simple as that, you can't even do on an iPhone. So pros on an Android phone, I put customizable. Some Android phones have an iris scanner. How cool is that? They have face recognition, expandable memory. That's a big thing that I get. People at my job, you know, they're wondering, will you ever be able to put an SD card in an iPhone? And honestly, I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of like Apple, you get what you get. You know, you get a 32 gig, you get a 128 or 256. That's it. We're not expanding anything. So that's a real bummer when it comes to running out of storage. After you run out of storage on an iPhone, it's more so, you know, I'm moving everything to cloud, and that's annoying. That's a whole nother discussion. I don't like cloud-based services, or mainly like iCloud. You only get 5 gigs for free. That's kind of lame. And on some Android phones, you can still get a removable battery. And a lot of people that come in my store, they really care about this feature. I mean, I don't think it's a pro or a con. It's just something you can do. You can take the battery out. Woohoo! And then you get 2 customized widgets on the screen of an Android phone. So that's enough about the pros and the cons. The actual video is about making the switch from Apple to Android. And it's not that hard to do. A lot of people really care about messaging and iMessaging compared to an Android messaging system, or, you know, the OS on Android. So it's not that difficult. You can still do group messaging when you make the switch from an Android phone to when you make the switch from an Apple phone to an Android phone. The messages are just gonna come up green with the people that you're doing the group messages with. Now, things that you have to know about when you're going from Apple to Android. Everything is Google based. So get the whole Apple App Store, iMessage, FaceTime out of your mind. Erase it, it's gone, no more. So the thing about that is you need a Gmail. Most people already have a Gmail, but Gmail is the email that's really going to make all your contacts sync, make your pictures sync, save your apps and everything. So Gmail is your best friend. If you don't have a Gmail and you're making the switch from Apple to Android, first thing you need to do, make a Gmail account. Everything is synced through Google. You have the Google Play Store, you have Google Docs, you have Google Calendar. You're going to have, if you get a Pixel, you're going to have unlimited cloud storage through Google, which is great. I mean, you can store 4K videos, and those are really big files. You know, Google allows you to do that, and it's unlimited. You can store as much as you want. Like I said, with iPhone, you're really going to have only 5 gigs of cloud storage for free. So number 1 is Google. Get a Gmail. That's just how you're going to back up all of your stuff. Number 2 is transferring all of your content. Now, there are different types of apps to transfer, you know, your contacts, your pictures, your calendar, but the only one that I really know about is because we use it at my store, like I work at Verizon. It's called VZ Content Transfer. So that's really going to only benefit the people who have Verizon. You download the content transfer on one phone, on your iPhone, and you download it on the new phone, and then you can switch everything, and it's really seamless. Now, that's in a perfect world. Everyone doesn't have Verizon, so there are other ways to get all your info. Like I said, if you have a iPhone and you have Gmail on it, all you have to do is put the Gmail email in your new Android phone, and then your contacts are going to sync, and it's going to be easy. Now, that works with a lot of emails. If you have Yahoo, if you have Gmail, if you still have AOL, things like that, you just put the email into the new Android phone, and then your contacts are really going to populate. Now, with your text messages, a lot of people really care about keeping old text messages. There's a really good app. It's called iSMS Android. So what that app allows you to do is it allows you to save your text messages to iTunes. So, you know, if you have an Apple phone and you're going to Android, you already have iTunes. So you plug in your Apple phone, and then you just back it up, and then you're going to download the app on your Android phone, and all your text messages are going to be loaded from iTunes to your Android phone via the app. So that's a great way to get your text messages. Again, that app's called iSMS Android. So that's a really cool thing for you to use. Now, your pictures, that's easy as well. I feel like people really care about contacts, pictures, and text messages, and then their apps. So pictures, Google has a really good app that you can download on your Apple phone, and then once you get your Android phone, you just download the app, and then bam, all your pictures are there. And that's going to be Google Photos for iOS. So that's just going to bring all of your pictures over, easy peasy. You don't have to worry about it. It's not complicated. So Google made it really simple for people to move their pictures from an Apple operating system to an Android operating system. It's not that hard. Another thing that people really care about is apps. Now, apps, that's going to be a little tricky because it's a different app store. You're going from Apple App Store to Google Play Store, and with that, you're just going to literally, you know, search the apps that you used to have in your old phone and then move them to your new phone. And that can be a little time consuming and cumbersome, but I mean, if you really care about, you know, specific apps, that's just something that you're gonna have to do. But if you do have, you know, Verizon, you can do the content transfer. So that's something that's easy to deal with. And I mean, making the switch isn't that difficult. It's more so learning the new OS. And that's what I always tell people, you know, when they say that they're scared to move from Apple. I mean, yes, with your new Android phone, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna be able to customize it. You're gonna be able to do, you know, iris scanner. You're gonna be able to have like face recognition. You're gonna be able to add memory to it. You're gonna be able to take your battery out. It's just so many things that you can do. And the Google Play Store has more free apps than the Apple App Store. So that's a plus as well if you're really into, you know, downloading different apps and trying things out. Android is the way to go. Now, it's not that difficult to integrate your Android phone into all of your Apple ecosystem. I mean, you're just going to do everything through Google. You can download Chrome on your computer, and then you can download Google Calendar. And those are things that, you know, I think it's something small, but people really use Google Calendar a lot. And, you know, people put a lot of their appointments in their Apple Calendar. So that's something that's really important. And honestly, making the switch isn't a big deal when it comes to your calendar. So I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. I feel like I kind of went through it fast. If you have any questions about anything from making the switch from Apple to Android, leave a comment below. You know, you can ask me and I'll get back to you guys really quick about it. And there are so many Android phones on the market, and it makes a lot of sense that people who have been Apple fans, they get bored. I mean, the iOS updates that come out ever so often, I mean, they really don't, there's nothing that wows me with the OS, the updates. But the Android operating system, and you can do so much stuff. I mean, it's really fun once you get the hang of it. There's a slight learning curve because I know if you're used to Apple, there's no back button on an iPhone. But with Android phones, you get a back button. I mean, I think it's dumb. You could just, you know, exit out of the application and open another one. But people that have Android, they really appreciate having a back button. So that's something that, you know, you can look forward to when you make the switch. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. There's so many Android phones on the market that you can choose from. Pixel, Samsung, Moto, LG, the list goes on. So, you know, do your research, make sure you're getting something comparable, make sure, you know, you're going to be happy with your purchase when you do make the switch, and let me know, you know, if you guys do go out and get a new phone and you're moving from Apple, let me know what you get, because I mean, like I said, I have a iPhone. I have an iPhone and I have a Pixel, and I really love my Pixel. I take a lot of pictures on the Pixel. Like I said, my Pixel setup is really simple. I mean, but I like the fact that I can keep it simple, and you know, you get tons of pages, and then Google Assistant on the Pixel is great. So I mean, and Siri's more whack and she's really boring, and Google Assistant is where it's at. So like and subscribe guys. Anything that I talk about is in the description. You know, you guys can ask me questions in the comments, you know, about making the switch if you're unsure about it. But like I said, hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you to all the new subscribers that I have. I'm almost at 100, so I'm really happy about that. And also, I'm going to be giving it a giveaway when I do hit 100 subscribers. So I think I have like a little bit to go. So you guys look out for that, and I will see you next Wednesday. I'll see you next Wednesday with another video. So have a good day, guys.